unforgiveness, and anger was coming in there too. I just didn't feel very good about myself, and I didn't think that I was worth anything. But Legacy helped me heal the dysfunctions I carried from being a victim of past domestic violence. Legacy taught me healthy boundaries and how to love myself as much as I do everybody else. Legacy also supported me through my marriage breakdown and then our reconciliation. So a thank you to our man up for that too. It's because of the power of Legacy and Man Up combined that we have experienced healthy marital restoration and family restoration. And now our children are growing up in the right environment. I am not perfect, but through Legacy and Christ, I have been renewed. I have found my purpose. I have found my identity. And I love the woman that I am becoming. Legacy is for you.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I once was tormented in my mind. Insanity and depression came and went, but were a part of my life for over 20 years. I was heavily medicated at times, and there was a time where they didn't know what to do, so I received electric shock treatment, and that destroyed me. I was labelled with mental illness from 14 years old into adulthood. Anorexia, depression, bipolar, psychosis, postnatal depression, it all plagued my life. I was in and out of mental health units, but this only made the tormenting thoughts get worse, and the only answers they had were more and more pills. I was also in and out of dysfunctional relationships throughout my life. I got married about 8 years ago. We had some really happy times, but in the end it ended in abuse. There were lies and rage in our home, and this only fueled my state of mind. Depression was a really dark time. It consumed me. I had suicidal thoughts. I thought, would this ever end? I thought this was me for the rest of my life. I thought, would I ever be free? But now, through Legacy and my Jesus, I have found true freedom and true healing. Legacy has unlocked the things that I needed to heal from. I wasn't left to deal with it on my own. I had my sisterhood around me, loving me and supporting me. Legacy has given me the keys to keep fighting against mental illness, to keep fighting for my family, to keep fighting against the generational curses that once had a hold over me and my family's life. Last year was a really hard year. I found out my husband was struggling with addiction. The abuse just got worse. It broke me, but I had to ask him to leave, and that was one of the hardest things I had to do. But Legacy was my lifeline through this, and God pulled me through. Legacy has shown me I don't have to live in a dysfunctional home, that I don't have to put up with abuse, that I am worth more. I can say today that I am no longer tormented. Depression has gone. Anxiety is almost non-existent. No more suicidal thoughts. I've shut the door on confusion. There is no abuse in our home. The mental monsters don't haunt me anymore. I'm living a healthy life for me and my kids. I stand strong and I have the victory. Jesus has set me free. I've been able to forgive. I have peace. I have happiness. My mind is clear. My mind is restored. Legacy has shown me the victorious woman God always created me to be. Legacy is powerful. Jesus is powerful. And legacy is for you.
Hi, my name is Shayla and I'm a domestic violence survivor. Before I started in Legacy, I was unhealed, broken, and running from my pain. I was emotionless and dead inside. Alcohol, men, and domestic violence was my norm for many years, and it affected not only me, but my children. Hitting rock bottom and losing my children, an abusive relationship. Getting strangled unconscious on a daily. To then finding out I was pregnant and hoping it would stop, but it never did. Finding out I was pregnant to my abuse, hoping it would never stop. Feeling so defeated and alone and didn't know what to do. Now pregnant and afraid and nothing to lose. Thanks, go sit down. Love you. Now pregnant and afraid and nothing to lose, I stood up to my abuser and I said no more. I was done and I'm leaving. I packed my stuff and I left, but unfortunately, not without a struggle. I lost my pregnancy. Losing my pregnancy and my kids was my rock bottom. That's when I realized I had never healed the most biggest part of me, my brokenness. So I promised myself and my children to break the cycle and to heal. Knowing it wasn't going to be easy, but I had God, and He believed in me, even when I didn't. He helped me through some hard days, leading me to where I needed to be. I stuck out those hard days, and now I'm shining bright and living my best life. And living my best life like the boss queen I am. Legacy has helped me in so many ways. It has helped me find my voice. It's helped me stand up for myself, know my worth, and say no. Use my no, turning my pain into power and my scars into strength. I am now free from domestic violence, dysfunctional relationships, alcohol, and I have a safe home with good boundaries. I have all my kids back in my care. In a safe and loving home. Never give up, you're not alone. Legacy is for you.
Hi, my name is Nikayla. When I first started Legacy, I was in the darkest mental state that I'd been in for a very long time. My daughter had been taken from my care, which caused me to be very suicidal and fall off the wagon on a lot of things. My mental health was incredibly hard to deal with, so they just put me on lots of different medications. I was drinking every day, I was smoking weed, and eventually I turned back to pee because those weren't enough. And since I was a child, these are the cycles that I knew of my family. I've been sexually abused and raped by 2 different abusers at multiple times of my life. This caused me to be dark, feel lots of shame, guilt, and depression. I had no self-esteem, no confidence, and no love for myself. But today I can stand here and say that I've broken that cycle. Not only do I have my baby girl back, I have a beautiful baby boy who will never know these dysfunctional cycles of my past. I've learned how to forgive my abusers, forgive my past, and forgive myself. And in doing so, I've learned to love myself and put myself first. I now have healthy boundaries in my daily life and in all my relationships. I now live a shame-free, guilt-free life in the light and no longer in the darkness. Legacy is for you.
So many people. Hi, I'm Ash. Hello. When I first started Legacy, I was actually living in a motel with my 4 kids. I was smoking weed every day. I was drinking every day. I was also using a range of multiple other substances in order to cope. Basically just putting my kids in a very, very dysfunctional living environment. I was struggling with grief and letting go of a very toxic relationship. I was also struggling with the heaviness that came with raising my 4 kids alone. And I was just using anything and everything I could find to numb that feeling of I'm not good enough. I had absolutely no boundaries, like no boundaries, not even with my kids. I had no self-worth. It was just basically the ultimate people pleaser. And I wasn't even really living. I was just surviving, just going through the day, doing what I needed to do to make it to bedtime. When I came to Legacy, it's like I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, it just really gave me hope. And man, I love Legacy. I love everything that it does. I love I love the love, I love the acceptance, I love the support, I love all my beautiful sisters. And through Legacy, I've been able to, I can now set boundaries. I can now say no. I am also clean off all substances. I don't even have a thought now of picking up a drink or a bong or a pipe in order to cope. Honestly, like the best thing I ever did was join Legacy. Legacy is for you.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I was once a raging crackhead. I was riddled with demons and addictions. I'd do anything to get high. I had no boundaries and no self-control. I was attracted to dysfunctional relationships. I was used and manipulated often, and I called it love, which warped my perception of love. I was rebellious. I had a problem with authority, and I would drink a lot. As a teenager, I was sexually abused by an older man, held captive at knife point, and I feared for my life. This left me with a warped perception of sexual expectations in relationships. I would use drugs and alcohol to mask my pain. After losing my dad, my best friend, and baby, one after the other, the spirit of death consumed me, spiraling me into darkness and drug use, through which I lost a lot. I lost my children, my family, my friends, multiple houses and everything in them, ultimately losing myself, my mind, and my grip on reality. I hated myself and what life had become. I felt stuck in depression and torment, and wanting this pain to end, I thought the only way out was to take my life, and I tried. I would use all the wrong stuff to try and fill the void, but I was left brokenhearted and not wanting to live. Until I joined Legacy. Legacy has set me free. I am now free from meth and the control. It no longer controls my life. I'm free from weed, which I was fully reliant on for many years. And I am free from dysfunctional relationships. Through Legacy, I have gained the ability to love myself, to face, trace, and replace my root traumas. I've gained a sisterhood of support with these ladies. I've had my family restored. I've become a better mum, a better friend, and a much-loved daughter of the Most High. Legacy changed my life. Legacy changes lives. I have overcome everything that was set to destroy me, and you can too. Legacy is for you.
overcoming anger, domestic violence, substance abuse, relationship breakdown, family separation. I'd been living a life of chaos and calamity. The dysfunctions of alcoholism, drug addiction, abuse, crime, and violence was all rife in my life. Living under the pressure and guilt of seeing family, friends, and children's lives being destroyed was becoming my everyday nightmare. After ending my relationship of 23 years to the father of my 4 children, I knew that I had to go find myself because I was lost and I didn't know who I was anymore. I was frustrated, unhappy, alone, carrying the burden and the weight of the destruction of my own family on my shoulders. But change is not impossible. Legacy has been the lifeline of help and support that has helped me and my children to rebuild our lives. Legacy saves me from the cycle of domestic and family violence. If you want to experience a new level of joy, peace, and a better quality of life, Legacy is for you.
I actually asked Tony because when I met Tony, you had a lot going on, didn't you? We met by Polstead Dairy. We were doing a barbecue, weren't we? And you and your friend rocked up, and we were wanting to start a legacy group. We had no one for our legacy group, and you both joined us and a few other ladies just through a barbecue and telling her about what we're there for. So, would you like to share a little bit about your story? And
So I joined Legacy a few years ago. I was full of dysfunctions. I was a drug addict, any drugs I could get my hands on, really. Drinking every day. I didn't really see that I had a problem at the time because I was functioning. I was able to do everything every day, do my children. I didn't lose my children. I don't know how, but they are still there. I conquered many things. So from the age of 4, I was sexually abused. When I was 15, I was in a domestic relationship. I was kicked out. It wasn't good. I was locked in rooms. I was made to sit in my own filth. I wasn't allowed to shower. I wasn't allowed to eat. I left that relationship. I was saved by a gang member. And it warped my mind on everything. So the young sexual child abuse, I thought that in order to get a man, I had to, give up the sexual pleasures straight away for them to stay around. That's what I was taught at a young age. I then after that relationship, the abusive one, I ended up moving to New Zealand. It's the other side of the world. He wouldn't have been able to find me. It was great, but I thought I'd healed from those. I didn't. In my 20s, that's when I found drugs. At the time, it was great times. I could forget about everything. It made me feel happy. Nothing else really gave me much happiness. And that continued in and out of more crappy relationships. No boundaries, drugging every day, drinking every day. Didn't want to work, had no work ethic, depression, postnatal depression, everything. I then went from hard drugs to prescription pills because they were dished to me like lollies from my doctor. So I then turned my pain, I was taking them normally, and then I was like, oh, let's just start sniffing them. It was a great time at the time, and nothing was getting better, and I just didn't understand why there was no hope. There was nothing. So when I found the flyer for Legacy, that's when I thought, shit needs to change, and there was free barbecue, and I love free food, so, So off I went to this barbecue. I think it was Diane that offered to pray for me that day, and I'd never had prayer. When I was a little girl, I was in the church, but I was always looked upon differently. I didn't feel accepted there. Straight away, Legacy was non-judgmental. I felt safe telling my stories, and there's so much more detail, but I won't go into that. We'll be here all day. So these ladies gave me hope, and they really did put a lot of time. They believed in me. I didn't believe in myself. I was done. I had attempted suicide many times. So it was good to feel a part of a sisterhood that loved me and accepted me and didn't judge me. And I honestly feel if I didn't go that day, I wouldn't have bothered joining any other time. So that day actually saved my life. Put in a lot of hard work. I would turn up to many Legacy sessions stoned.
And we knew it.
I wasn't fried, but, I was stoned. And I don't know, I think it was more of a comfort thing why I would go stoned. I don't know. And then last year, I had major heart surgery. My aorta was dilating, so it is a hereditary thing, but I believe that my age from 20 to 34 of drugging and drinking every day really sped up that problem. So off I went. Legacy, Sharon was my support person. I didn't really have anyone else. My mum had to stay home with my children, so Sharon was my only support, and she then hooked me up with Legacy in Wellington, and they come and helped me through my days in hospital. I was not an easy patient. I just wanted to come home. I was just over it. So I then threatened them and said, well, I'm catching my own way home, see ya. So they then, they got me home and expected me to stay in Nelson Hospital. Didn't happen. And then fast forward a bit, this year I was offered to buy the salon that I planted myself in 2 years ago. And I will thank Sharon, because had I have not joined Legacy, I wouldn't have got my work ethic back, and I wouldn't be where I am now at all. And I look back and think, I'm from Karaka Street, I live in the hood. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So join Legacy and you'll reap the rewards. Years down the track, everything starts coming, you will get blessed, and I am glad I made that choice. So definitely up the Legacy, and thank you. So I've got this. I don't know if Pastor Sarah's here today. There's just a wee voucher for Pastor Sarah. There's one for you, Elder Sharon, because you do so much for the Legacy team. You do so much work behind the scenes that none of us see, but you're there for us every day. You really are my angel. You saved me. So, Alicia, this one is for you. And Ruth. Is Ruth here? So thank you very much. You were a very big rock during my heart surgery, so thank you. And thank you for my gardens and being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me stand. I don't like doing this stuff, but I'm pretty pro now. So yeah, thank you, everyone.